Just make sure that hat's on tight.
Gotcha. Thank you. This is me taking a helicopter, not a taxi or an Uber, a helicopter to the airport. It cost me $200, it took 15 minutes, and it was the epitome of luxury travel. Hey guys, welcome back to another Is It Worth It luxury review where I try fancy things, expensive things, and I tell you if it's actually worth the extra cost or not. And today's video, we're talking about helicopter taxis because why not? I don't know, helicopters are cool. So yeah, this video is gonna be about helicopter taxis. I'm gonna break it into three parts. The first part's gonna be what is Blade, the helicopter taxi service, and what's it like to book it, what's it like to fly it, what's the experience like, all that fun stuff so you can get a real idea of what you're getting yourself into for $200. The second part's gonna be why should you try it? I was actually surprised. There's some really compelling reasons why you'd wanna take this, ones that surprised me. And then the third part, perhaps the most important part, why you should not take Blade. There's some real deal breakers, some real reasons I think that are gonna be pretty common for a lot of people as to why you would not wanna take this service. And then I'll give you my conclusion, whether I think it's worth it or not. And yeah, let's get right into the video. So I don't know about you, but I actually knew about this product or this option of taking a helicopter to the airport because of Casey Neistat videos.
Because we took the JetBlue flight instead of the American flight, we made it back in time. The last major variable is the gridlock rush hour traffic between here and Manhattan. But I think I've got a solution for that.
For me though, me personally, I never thought it was an option because I know Casey Neistat's making that big YouTube money. I am not making that big YouTube money. And so I thought, there's no way I could afford that. However, then my friend who lives in New York, who actually gave me the idea to do this video, he hit me up and said they're actually $200 and you should consider doing it. And now $200 is a lot of money, but an Uber or a taxi to any of the airports in New York are gonna cost about $85 to $100 depending on traffic. So I thought, you know what, I'll try it. Just for one video, that's not that much money, I'll give it a shot. So the first thing you gotta do is book your flight on Blade, and to be honest, I was shocked by how easy this was. It was as easy as booking a reservation on OpenTable or something like that. It actually was to the point where I was like, should it be this easy to book a helicopter ride? Booking a helicopter should not just feel like you're booking a table at a restaurant, but that's what it felt like. You can book on a desktop or their mobile app, and you just simply pick where you're trying to go, what time you're trying to go there. They have tons of flight options because they're flying back and forth between the airport constantly, and the flights only take about 5-10 minutes anyways. So one thing I did was I looked for promo codes, and the points guy had a promo code but it expired. So unfortunately I had to pay the full $200 essentially. However, I have a promo code you can use to save $50 off of your first flight with Blade. The promo code is Andrew L 301, and the A and the L are capitalized. And I'll have that promo code in the description so you don't have to jot that down or remember. Who jots things down anymore anyways? So you booked your flight, you arrive at one of their terminals, lounges, wherever you want to call it, helicopter airports. They're on either end of the island, so either the west side or the east side. Right, anyways. You arrive at the lounge, they tag your bags for you, and it's time to enjoy the beautiful, trendy, chic, mid-century modern Mad Men meets modern. It's time to enjoy the really nice lounge. Free drinks, alcoholic, non-alcoholic, free food, mostly just kind of snack packs, no hot food bar or anything like that. Really nice seating with views of the helicopters coming in and out, which is actually really fun, and a really nice bathroom. I actually filmed the bathroom. I filmed it on my phone. I didn't want to film it with my camera. I didn't want to take my camera in there and have the people working there be like, why is he bringing? There's a really nice bathroom, if you are wondering, with a lot of Blade branded amenities in it, which is pretty funny. Even have some Blade lighters you can have, which made no sense to me because you can't take a lighter on a plane, but maybe for those who are going to the Hamptons, they take these lighters. So after a nice refreshing drink and chilling on the lounges for a little bit, it's time for you to head out on your beautiful, amazing, albeit very short flight.
All ready?
All right, let's do it.
Just make sure that hat's on tight.
Okay, thank you.
I've never been on a helicopter, mostly because they're too expensive, oddly enough. So this was my excuse to finally try a helicopter because I needed a way to get to the airport. The flight was awesome. I got to sit in the front. The guys at Zip Aviation, Ralph was my pilot. They did a fantastic job flying it. Super smooth flight, despite it being a very small helicopter. The views were incredible. I mean, you never get to see the city this way. I've seen the city from a boat, I've seen it from my plane, but I've never been up close near the buildings, kind of zooming by them, which is really cool. And then before I knew it, we were sweeping in extremely quickly, it felt like, right into Newark Airport. Now, one thing to keep in mind, they don't land at your terminal. They don't land at your gate. You don't just walk off the helicopter and go onto your flight. You have to still go through security and all of that. So they actually land at what seems to be the private jet airport of Newark, where like celebrities and the super wealthy fly out of. There's actually a little terminal they said I could hang out in if I wanted, which had some cookies and snacks and things like that. I was surprised by this. I know it's important and exclusive because I was filming in there and they yelled at me to stop filming. So that's how you know it must be something nice.
You can't be recording.
Oh, when you land, two guys will meet you out at your helicopter and grab your bags for you. One thing to keep in mind, you are never carrying your bags this entire process, which is, I mean, it's nice. They really make you feel like a VIP. They do a lot of things like that to make you feel like a VIP, which is pretty cool. Like walking off the helicopter and having two people say, hey, you know, Mr. Is It Worth the Luxury Reviews, we're ready to take you to your car. It felt, you know, felt like being a celebrity. It felt like being a, you know, a man of importance, a man in power, you know, a politician or something like that. A black SUV with a Blade logo, they've honestly branded everything in the process, is there waiting to take you to the terminal, and it's just like a quick 5-minute ride to the terminal.
The time is 2:03 after a quick car ride. I am at my terminal. So quick little math, I left at 1:47. It took me 16 minutes to get to the airport. That's pretty good.
The entire process from Blade Lounge to terminal took about 15 minutes, which was extremely quick. The entire process was seamless. There was no hiccups. There was no confusion. I was just kind of whisked away. And I'll stop right here to make a really important distinction. Blade really advertises it as a really quick way to get to the airport. And yes, the time in the helicopter and the black car to the terminal is really quick. It is only 15 minutes. However, This is not door to door. Again, Blade is not picking you up from your hotel and taking you to the terminal like an Uber or a taxi would. You still have to go from your hotel or wherever you're staying to the Blade Lounge, then take the taxi or take the helicopter and the taxi to the terminal. So it's not exactly 15 minutes versus an hour. The whole process as a total took me about still 45 minutes. However, what I experienced during those 45 minutes was extremely different from a taxi. The Blade experience, those 45 minutes, is so wildly different than taking an Uber or taxi or the train. All right, so let's get into the next part, perhaps the most important part. Why should you take Blade? What are the reasons why you're gonna wanna do this instead of taking a taxi or an Uber? And then why you would not wanna take it. What are the deal breakers? The most obvious reason why you'd wanna take it, and I think it's clear by my tone of voice here, is it was an awesome experience. It's just really fun to take a helicopter. I think the best way I can phrase it is, when I go to the airport normally, that is the least interesting part of my day. I am not looking forward to that ride through New Jersey to Newark Airport. When I take Blade, it is the highlight of my day. It is something that is unforgettable. It's something I look forward to during my entire trip. Another really important reason why you'd want to take it is peace of mind. I cannot tell you how many times I've had travel disasters in New York City trying to get to the airport. My dad actually has a great saying. He would always say, New York City, use at your own risk. My friend Dom, who you actually saw in the Kobe Beef video, that guy, the guy who builds robots, he had an experience where on his way to JFK airport, it was so bad, the traffic was so bad on the highway, he actually got out of his cab in the middle of the highway, grabbed his luggage, walked with his luggage on an overpass all the way to the airport along with dozens of other travelers. In fact, right now there's actually a massive renovation project going on at LaGuardia Airport, and there is insane traffic causing insane delays.
Construction headaches at LaGuardia Airport. Many travelers waiting in long lines just to take another trip before they head home.
In addition to complaints of price gouging and illegal cab drivers, CBS 2's Lisa Rosner investigates.
With Blade, you don't have to worry about any of this. You have complete and utter peace of mind about this entire process, which is really nice. And then a nice benefit of this peace of mind is you know you can schedule more things, you can do more things while in New York. For me, I'm a business traveler. I always schedule my meetings to not be near flight times because I know how hard it is to get to the airport at times. Another thing I do is I try not to book flights between 4 and 7 p.m. because I know getting to the airport is going to be such a mess. With Blade, I can now book those flights. Maybe they're cheaper. Maybe I save money there. Or maybe you can squeeze in another meeting. That extra meeting I can take could provide tremendous value to my company. So there's actually a pretty solid business case, if you will, to take a Blade. I can actually just imagine now me trying to pitch my manager on letting me fly Blade and letting me expense that, and it would not go well. Now let's talk about the reasons why you would not want to take Blade, and there's some huge deal breakers. The most obvious one is going to be they charge by the seat, not by the ride. So what do I mean by that? If you take an Uber, whether it's 1 person, 3 people, 4 people, whatever, it's the same price because they charge by the ride, by the distance. Blade charges by the seat. So if you travel with another person, it's not the same price. You're still paying another $200. So an Uber ride with another person to the airport can get split. With this, you can't split it multiple ways, which kind of sucks. So if you're traveling with another person, I would probably lean towards Uber/taxi. Another reason why you would not want to take Blade is bad weather. If there is the potential for bad weather or a thunderstorm, they will cancel flights. I got lucky, I had clear weather on my way over there, but the pilot told me if there was a thunderstorm something like 30 miles within the area, they would have canceled my flight, which if I had scheduled my day around expecting to take Blade, that would have really screwed me up. Another reason why you'd not want to take it is based on where you're staying, your hotel location. If you're staying on like the Upper West Side or the Upper East Side, you're kind of far from the Blade terminals or airports or whatever you want to call them. So you'd have to ride a long distance from your hotel to the Blade terminal and then begin your trip. So that could add a lot more extra cost to your trip. And the last reason why you would not want to take it is if you have a lot of bags. This is a small helicopter, so they only let you take a personal belonging like a backpack and a carry-on suitcase. They actually ask you for your weight before the flight because they need to make sure they're not taking too much luggage or too much load. Sounds weird. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you have a big check-in suitcase, maybe Blade's not the option. So what's the verdict? Is it worth it or not? Is taking a helicopter to the airport worth the extra cost? And the answer is Probably not. This isn't like the Aria Sky Suites or the Amex Platinum card where you can squeeze extra value out of those options to make the math work. You know, there's no accounting tricks we can do here to make Blade more affordable or make it work. Yet, I think I'm gonna do it again. I really loved it. I had such a fantastic time. And I go back to that point I made earlier where this was something I looked forward to my entire trip. This was something I was really, really excited about the entire time, and it's nice to have that. It's funny because with the Kobe beef, for example, I'm not looking forward to my next Kobe beef meal. I'm not trying to seek out the next time I eat Kobe beef. With Blade, I am looking forward to the next time I use this service. And the other crazy part is, I fly for business travel a lot. My company will allow me to expense an Uber or a taxi. They don't let me expense Blade. I'm paying out of pocket here for Blade, and I still think I would do it again. So if you're deciding whether you're gonna do it or not, also remember I have that promo code that can get you $50 off your first flight. For 150 bucks, I would highly suggest trying this at least once. But yeah, I'm curious, leave a comment if I made a compelling enough case for you. Do you think you're gonna try Blade or not? I read all of my comments and I reply to like 99% of them. I only don't reply to those weirdly personal ones that I really don't know how to reply to. Subscribe if you like more videos like this. I do a lot of luxury reviews exactly like this if you're new to my channel. And I have a bunch more videos coming up. I actually have a video on a hotel that was voted the second best hotel in all of the country, and then a video on the very best rated hotel in all of New York City. So those are coming out very soon. Thank you so much for giving me your extremely valuable time and watching this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.